what's the difference between financial independence
Mm.
and retirement?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Perfectly timed. Uh, yeah, so we've been running into this a lot where people will say, especially here in the valley, we run into people that it's a hard job. I mean, they're really grinding out a lot of hours, that kind of 50 to 80-hour weeks that are happening. The tech business is very demanding. And so they just want to kind of get out from underneath that, but they don't particularly want to retire. Maybe they're 60 or something along those lines, and they just want to get out of that 50 to 80-hour week and do something else. And I call that financial independence. So you want to get to a spot where you could not work, or if you did work, it wouldn't matter that much what you were making. So, you could go from being a tech executive to working at the yarn store, because you really like knitting and you're excited about whatever it is, kind of get involved in some of your hobbies that don't pay that much as far as that goes. So I think that's an aspect that I think is really, cool to look at. And that's what we call that financial independence. So instead of a pure retirement, I've heard a lot of people say I don't really want to retire, but what they are looking for is a point in time where either they could retire or do something else that wouldn't pay as much, but they might enjoy more or not be 50 to 80 hours, that kind of stuff. So that's what we call financial independence. And that's generally what we're working with quite a few of the early retirees. It isn't that they want to completely disengage from working, although some do, but most want to do something else and be able to do something else. That's the objective.
Yeah, and even if you don't reach financial independence, we could test the theory is say instead of earning 200,000, what if I earned 100,000, but I was able to maybe maintain three-fourths of my savings rate?
Yep.
Uh, like, would that work for me to get to retirement at,
Yep.
65?
Yep.
And those are like scenarios that are pretty common that we can test. Maybe this job is just, it's grinding you to the bone and you're just done with it and you
Yep.
need something else.
Yeah. Recently, we were talking with a client about just trying to find the number right now. Because the job's a grind. It's been really hard. Things are, and especially been, it's been tough for the last few years. And um, and just knowing what that number is. Maybe it's not that much. Maybe, hey, I could retire right now with 40,000. I don't really want to, but if I hate this job that much, maybe that's a worthwhile trade-off. But it's not even that. It's more mental. It is like, okay, this is what I could generate, and according to Monte Carlo simulation, and being an 85% or higher time, success rate, I could have X amount of dollars. And I just know that right now. I've already got these assets built up because I've been working so hard. And I know right now I could get this. And I don't really want that. I'll keep working, but it makes it easier for me to keep working knowing what I do have. And so that's something you can kind of do on a year by year basis, just kind of see what it is that you could be having, for your financial independence. Again, it might not be enough to really do what you want, but again, if you had to trade this job that was killing you for whatever reason, for this lower income, at least for a while, so you could transition to something else. And hey, right, maybe go back to school and become a teacher, right? Whatever it is, you might need some money to get through that time period. So that's another way of looking at financial independence. I think is really interesting. It's partly mental, just trying to alleviate some of the stress and knowing that you could walk out the door.